We've got a new movie trivia Schmoedown singles champion. What a great way for the season to end. I want to thank Schmoedown for everything they've done this year. Wait, what's that? Apparently I'm being told we just started this season. Oh. Who's ready for another 120 matches of Schmoedown? Yay! The very next match will now be in the team division, as a very highly anticipated match is about to take place. One of the favorites and one of the old school teams, critically acclaimed, is finally getting back together after nearly 8 months of not being able to compete with anarchy and a whole bunch of other shenanigans. They are finally getting a chance to become the #1 contenders, something that they've been trying to seek for over a year. Today they're going to be playing the Harris Brothers, one of the new great teams of Schmoedown, of Lon and John, not Duran or Moron or Engelbert Humperdinck, as I've been joking for the past couple months. These two teams are finally going to get it on to determine who will be the next #1 contenders for the Shire Wolves for the Schmoedown Team Champions. Let's find out who will get that title shot now on JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Welcome back, and before you say anything, disregard this. I scratched myself. It hurts. Okay, maybe if I turn like this during the reaction, I think I'll be just fine. Problem solved. This match, critically acclaimed versus the Harris Brothers. Two teams, surprise, surprise, I'm big fans of, and I've been kind of torn about who I want to see win this match. I guess in terms of, competitiveness, critically acclaimed would be the better choice of who would come out on top. Maybe in terms of entertainment, perhaps the Harris Brothers might be the better choice. This is interesting because I know Whitney and Bibiani have been desperately, they've made it very clear they have been wanting to compete again together for a very, 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 very long time. So I'm wondering how, you can't imagine how motivated they will be to try to win this match. Lon and John obviously got very, very, very close to potentially getting a title shot at the Spectacular last year, but their ride to becoming #1 contenders ended in a pretty heartbreaking fashion with a devastating KO loss to the inevitable #1 contenders, who's the Boss. So, I guess in terms of that, Who's the Boss could probably afford this win a little bit more because they're kind of a little bit more down in the dumps, trying to rebound after such a sour way of their tournament ending. And also, I think we can all agree, critically acclaimed is always going to be around. William Bibiani, a former singles champion, his spot in Schmoedown will always be set. Whenever he wants to play team or singles, he's going to get it. With Lon and John being a team that was kind of thrown together last minute, you never know if there really truly are any long-term plans for the team. I certainly hope there are, but if their record starts to start dwindling in that 500 mediocrity area, it might be pretty hard to get them back continuing to play that persona, especially with Lon being such a great singles player. You have to wonder if eventually, if the Harris Brothers get too far down in the team rankings, if they potentially just decide to go the separate ways and just have Lon go back to singles. I really don't want that to happen. I mean, obviously, I want to see Lon continue to compete in singles, but I've really loved this Harris Brothers combination since they came together. I've obviously wanted some things to happen that still have not happened with the Harris Brothers, which, is devastating to me, but be that as it may. As far as the match, when this match got announced, I proposed something on the Facebook page, or I gave my own fantasy booking about how I thought this match should be done. And I basically, throughout the last couple of weeks, have been saying gentleman's match. This should be the ultimate gentleman's match. And what I mean by that is this. These four guys obviously know each other very well. Lon and John and Whitney and Bibiani have known each other for a very long time when it comes to film. In fact, Bibiani has even said this on the Facebook page. He actually went to the same film school that Jonathan Harris went to, which is kind of cool. So they go way, way, way back. So since they know each other so well, and they all know that they respect film so much and they love film and they have such a passion for film, I'm hoping that they bring that into this match and that they just talk and just try to bring up all these obscure movies that nobody would ever know about, and they just go back and forth, racking off all these weird movies that I, let alone anybody else, wouldn't have a freaking clue about what they're talking about. I'm hoping they go that route because that's just something that would fit all their characters to me. But again, as far as the match, I think it's probably better for the long term if the Harris brothers win this, because as I said, critically acclaimed will be around for a long time. So the Harris brothers, I'm going to root for them to win just slightly, but honestly, it doesn't matter to me either way who wins. Either way, we're going to get great #1 contenders, and it's going to be a great title match against the Shire Wolves with whoever it may be. But me personally, I'm going to lean slightly towards Harris Brothers. Sorry, Chris Clark. I still love you, though. So without further ado, let's do this in 3, 2, and 1. Click. Show the new logo. Oh, shoot. They did it quick on me. Now I know exactly when they do all this stuff now. Then Bibbs wants to fight. Harris brother, Lon wants to smoke. Wants to smoke pot. Hello, Mark. Hello, Christian. The gang's all here. I didn't even say that during the live event. Shame on me.
It begins season 6. Once again, I want to thank Collider for the incredible few seasons we've had there. Thank you so much to Mark Fernandez. Thank you to Collider for having us on the channel. And now we are on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown channel. You guys are here. You are watching. What a great season we are going to have. So much in store. Mark Baby Caratellis, thanks for joining us.
Christian George Harloff,
I'm also glad that I'm actually able to react to these matches because, as many people probably remember, at one point these Team Anarchy matches were not going to appear publicly anymore. But as I stated in the last one, the Patreon support really helped this, and is really the only reason why this is even happening now. So that's great. That's great to know, because it means it doubles the amount of JTH you get to see this year. Aren't you excited? No. Okay. Me sad.
Contenders. Well, enter critically acclaimed 3-1, 3 knockouts. The former Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Oh yeah, I wonder what crazy entrance they're going to come up with.
And they go up against the finalist of Anarchy, the tournament last year. I wonder what creative,
not really though, entrance they'll come up with. I'm sure they'll smoke and measure things and do a lot of this and do a lot of this. Steady as a rock.
Don't know anybody that knows. Oh wait, who's that guy I grew up with? Enter his brother. Now they are an indomitable team. Then critically acclaimed. What they have brought to the table. William the Bibiani, sure.
Broke the paddle.
Also knows him some movies. He's a very respected film critic in this community, and now he is here to do some damage to the Harris family name.
Well, this is the thing.
His reaction is still brought to you by Pepsi. Still sweeter than Coke. Better than Dick.
They were on a victory road there, critically acclaimed, to get themselves a #1 contender shot and get a title shot last year. Enter Mike Kalinowski, who then says, all right, Anarchy, guess what, Whitney? You're going to be with Mark.
You're not going to be a team anymore.
The Beast, you're going to be with Matt Nost.
Oh.
And they didn't get to play with each other.
Farewell, Matt Nost. You were a joy to watch.
And they had a big break the year before that, so they are ready to make an impact. But if the Harris brothers have anything to say with it, they'll be the ones. But they had a lot to say. There was a lot of smack talk. There was a lot of...
I certainly hope not. I hope they didn't take shots at each other. This is new.
Whitney and I, critically acclaimed, 3 wins, 3 knockouts.
Look, the Lords of Chaos took over at that point and separated us and made sure that our combined powers could not blast a hole through everything.
The Harris brothers. What's the story behind that?
They're brothers. They are brothers. They are the Harris brothers. Lon Harris reaches out and gets his brother, another professor, to go ahead and compete with.
His name's John. Lon and John.
Yeah.
You gotta love that family sense of humor.
The Harris brothers are back to reclaim our title, but the Harris brothers, I mean, these miscreants, they come along, they think, oh, I won this match, now give me my belt, but they haven't done the rigorous work. They lack the discipline. Certainly, we have proven ourselves. We have taken out, please take the Cannoli. We took out that team. We took out the Odd Couple, named for one of Neil Simon's lesser work. So we took out both of those teams before our match against Who's the Boss.
Critically acclaimed, the Harris brothers, face to face, to face, to face. Knowledge against knowledge.
But better knowledge. These are film critics. Journalism is dead. The academia is where they should be.
Your team is called critically acclaimed. Your team is a description of our team.
They say that they know everything there is to know about sort of the high art.
That's our job.
That's us. How many Kaneto Shindo films have you seen?
How many Jorg Bucherite films have you
A
seen?
lot.
We are and have proven ourselves to be the top team in this entire league.
Together, we are nigh unstoppable.
And not bad looking.
Dr. Billy and Bibiani and Mr. Whitney Sebold.
Prepare to be comically ashamed.
Okay, they kind of did what I was hoping they'd do. They at least respected that the other team do film, but they did it in a mean way. Oh, no gentleman's game here. Oh well. Oh, and that match got announced, if you didn't know that.
Are they going to be able to ride right back in the same saddle after all these many months off from competing with each other? The Harris brothers, they're kind of like those.
Why are they so mean to each other? I mean, the Harris brothers, you would think Bibiani and Whitney would be the very people that Lon and John would try to find. Those are they're trying to find people that love and respect and have passion for film. It's them! And now they're being mean to me. It doesn't make any sense.
In the tournament, they beat Take the Cannoli. They have a lot of notable wins here, and they're looking for a new shot.
And they are one of the few teams in the league that sleep in bunk beds.
True.
Is that correct?
All right. Well, with that, Mark, I'm ready to get going. How about you?
I am prepared, Christian. Let's do it.
#1 contender match for the championship against the Shire Wolves. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for
Movie Trivia Schmoedown for the team to play Shire Wolves. Kind of a wolf. Different wolf, though.
Introducing first, with a record,
Going back to the Beast film. Or theme. Theme is what I meant to say, people. You know that, though. I often have a slip of the words.
The Beauty, Cybold, and the former Movie Trivia Schmoedown Champion of the World, William the Beast Bibiani, critically acclaimed.
Where did you send us? Movie Trivia Limbo Town? Oh, we gotta find the right door. Hey, Dad! There. Make sure. Wait a minute. What the hell?
Wait a minute. No, they're not coming through my door. What a shame.
With Natalie Portman and Black Swan, dance is not just about dance. It's about everything behind it.
You don't get President Obama.
What?
This isn't even remotely right.
The lift in Dirty Dancing is iconic. What?
That was Screen Junkies Movie Fights, brought to you by Comic Bento. there's your host, Hal Rutnick. Oh, there they are. Yay! You made it! Although, you didn't bust down my door. That's... thank you, I guess. I'm a little surprised later the party didn't bring up the fact that they beat them.
It wasn't just them making it either. William the Bibiani has fans in the crowd. They even brought a sign to support their hero.
I like William the Bibiani. All right.
It's my sister.
Oh, at least he's honest.
Their opponents, with a record of 3 wins.
This don't sound like Coolio or Weird Al.
2018 Ultimate Schmoedown finalists, Lon and Jonathan, the Harris Brothers.
What?
Appears to be Lon. Oh, he's doing the death point.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, Christian, it's a 7th seal, 7th sign.
Oh, I see.
Oh, goodness.
Categories.
Categories.
Oh,
What are you gonna do?
thought he was whipping out the holy hand grenade of Antioch.
Just like the classic movie. Instead of chess, they're playing scatterboard.
These guys call themselves film snobs. They just remade a millennial version of the 7th Seal. I call foul.
Okay.
That's not very snobby.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised.
Extreme of
You
it.
know,
Educators. It's about
the
making
Harris
these
brothers,
films
you know,
resonate
playing,
with younger generations.
impersonating characters, that doesn't seem like their style.
This is the most interesting.
That's a little unusual. So they're kind of like
Costume so you can't
characters playing characters playing other characters. That's
Mark, round number 1. How's that go?
That's interesting. I would not have pictured the Harris brothers doing that. Oh well, rest in peace, Coolio. We hardly knew you.
Going to hear 8 questions from 8 different movie trivia categories. Each question is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round number 1. Although this is a team match, keep in mind.
Give me the power
Your own
to get one
to
question
get the
right.
correct answer. We will ask the question. Once we do, you
Please.
have about 15 seconds to write down your best attempt at
Best
an answer
attempt
on the
at an
whiteboard
answer.
in front of you.
Unless you put
Once we
Bob
ask you
Saget.
by name to reveal the answer, please say your best attempt into the microphone. At the same time, you hold the whiteboard up to the camera and also
Only
allow
the
us up
inner
here
circle
to
of the
witness
Schmoedown
all
community
its
will
glory
know what
of
I'm
your
saying
possibly
when I
correct
mention
answer.
Bob Saget.
We'll remind each team you have
You're
3
welcome.
usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. If you're not sure you heard a question correctly, you need to buy yourself some time. Use
Get
a
comfortable,
JTE rule.
because
Each team also
getting
has 1
questions wrong,
challenge
you need
to
to be
administered
relaxed to do
when
that.
they see fit.
Trust
All right,
me.
so with that,
I do it a
Harris
lot.
Brothers, are you ready?
Too often students don't listen to all the directions, so I just want you guys to know that we definitely did.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Critically acclaimed. Are you ready?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, we're good. We're not pretentious. We just want to play the game.
Let's get ready to Schmoedown! There we go, guys. First question.
Tricked ya.
Adventure. Which The Walking Dead actor played government agent Harvey Russell in 2018's Rampage?
Oh, it's the main guy.
You know, it's kind of like a running joke last
Hope
year.
I
but
remembered
I
his
do
name
think
right.
Jonathan's still my favorite Harris brother.
No.
Yeah.
All right. That's not very nice.
Clearly better than Lon, although I do enjoy
5,
Lon.
4, 3.
Repeat the question.
Which
Wow,
The
first
Walking
question.
Dead actor played government agent Harvey Russell in 2018's
He must have forgot what his name is too, because I know he's seen Rampage.
4, 3.
Jeffrey
2,
Dean Morgan, is that his
1.
name?
Pens down. Harris Brothers. Sorry, Lon.
It is Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Okay,
Yes, it
I was
is.
right.
Whitney.
I wrote down Norman Reedus.
Oh no!
I
Jonathan.
wrote down what he likes to be called, grimy.
Oh, and Beast.
I also had Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Okay.
There you go. Tie game. Tie game.
Wow.
But critically acclaimed has used 1 JTE.
He must have just not remembered his name.
1 apiece.
All right, here we go. Next question.
Next question. In the world of animated, these are movies that have been drawn by hand or more likely on a computer.
Thanks,
Your
Mark.
question is, when Blue, a domesticated macaw from small town Minnesota, meets the fiercely independent Jewel, he takes off on an adventure with her in what film? It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Animated question.
I hope they don't repeat that one. 5,
It's a long time.
4,
Is it really? I don't think so.
2, 1.
Rio,
Down.
although technically Rio 2 could also
Yes, it is.
count.
Jonathan.
Rio.
Yep. Beast.
Rio.
Yep.
I also said Rio.
Rio.
And
There
she
you go.
dances on
Beast,
the
you
sand.
lied!
I like what William the Beast Bibiani tried to do there. I like that he pretended it was a long title and just did a lot of scribbling. I really enjoyed that.
It's called lying, Christian. You could say
It's
lying.
a long title. I like like
lying.
I like it. Smart. All right, here we go. Next question. Dramas. Who stars as former slave hunter turned Jesuit missionary in 1986's The Mission?
You ever have Mission tortilla chips? You get them at fancier grocery stores. It just says Mission.
I know what they are.
They are good stuff.
Good for you.
Put them in some queso.
4, 3. What's queso? 2.
Let's say Kurt Russell.
1. Pens down, please. And Jonathan.
Figured it was 50-50. I guessed Liam Neeson.
That's incorrect. Beast.
Robert De Niro?
That is correct. Lon?
I also had Robert De Niro.
And Whitney.
Oh, I wrote Jeremy Irons.
Incorrect. So still tie game there. Okay. Next question.
Okay, no one wants to grab hold of the match just yet.
Liam Neeson.
Gentlemen, your next question is in the world of 80s movies. This is as in the 1980s.
As opposed to the 1780s.
1980s musical contains the following quote. What professional rides a motorcycle and wears a black leather jacket?
Not many musicals that I know that are in the 80s. It's certainly not the Blues Brothers.
To see that.
I also have a light jean jacket.
I like the jean jacket.
I'm wearing
5.
today.
Can you repeat
4.
the question?
Yeah.
I certainly
Who
can.
was that? Lon?
Buy me some more time to get a
1980s
question
movies.
wrong.
Which 1980s musical contains the following quote? What professional rides a motorcycle and wears a black leather jacket?
5.
This is a total shot in the dark.
3,
Footloose.
2, 1. Beast.
Was it Grease 2?
No, it was not. Lon?
I believe it was Little Shop of
That
Horrors.
is correct. Whitney.
I wrote Footloose.
Oh, I wasn't alone.
We were on the same page for once. I guess Grease 2.
Oh, wow. So the Harris brothers. Yeah, Harris.
At least I picked a movie that was from the 80s. I'm not completely stupid.
Next question. Fantasy/sci-fi. Which 1984 film starring Emilio Estevez and Harry Dean Stanton follows a bunch of wacky characters trying to find a Chevy Malibu with radioactive aliens hidden in the trunk? God, I feel like I just seen the whole movie.
When that happens. You get these radioactive
The wrestling
aliens.
fan in me loves this.
Again, that's why you gotta
Loves getting to say
really vet
this.
ET.
3.
Is
I
he
like
a
when you,
botanist?
I just like when you talk to
Is
yourself.
he a botanist?
Rebo Man. Dun, dun, dun,
Most people
dun,
spend their life
dun,
trying to
dun,
get out
dun.
of insane situations, but
Rebo
the
Man.
Repo Man spends his life trying to get
Correct.
Yes,
Whitney.
Repo Man. Ordinary
All the
Repo
wrestling
Man.
fans in this community will get that joke.
I didn't get it. I put Men at Work.
Oh, no.
Wow, okay, but I did have Repo Man.
Wow,
So we're good.
critically acclaimed back
Repo
and
Man.
tie game here. Well, tied up.
Oh, there's that match again, if you don't remember.
Next category here. Next category is comedy.
In the world of comedy,
Sorry, that's your
Christian,
question.
do the laugh.
No, you got it. Chuck.
Who directed Clueless?
If you don't know, would that mean that you are...
More importantly, who is clueless? Me.
Not necessarily.
About who directed
It's a tough question.
Clueless.
Gotta go there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whitney.
Amy Heckerling.
Yes, sir. Jonathan.
Amy Heckerling.
Yep. Beast.
Amy Heckerling?
And Lon.
Amy Heckerling. Wow.
Lon's still perfect.
I still think the better question was, who is
This
clueless?
question asks
Me.
just to him, and if I may
JTH.
say, out of all the competitors I've
Clueless.
ever seen
As
write
usual.
something on a whiteboard, Whitney, by far the best penmanship.
Hey, I do good. I do good penmanship. Watch. Jane Fonda. Ah! Too easy.
All right. Horror/thriller.
Poor John. Just can't catch a break. Broca, I mean.
Name the movie
I mean,
from this
not Jonathan
synopsis.
Harris.
Name the movie from the synopsis. A woman who lives in her darkened old family house with her 2 photosensitive children.
Didn't we just
becomes convinced
get this
that the home
question?
is haunted.
Unless I'm
You know what I love is when we're clearly on camera and you decide it's time to take a
unless
sip
I'm
out of
more
your empty
dumb
cup
than
with
me
your
think
straw.
me
It's time
is.
to speak with Alex and say, Christian, no more liquids
5,
during the match.
4. It's better than
Is it
staring
the
at
others?
You are an animal.
Or
2,
others?
1. Pens down, please. And Jonathan.
I didn't know who directed this at first, and then I went, aha, the others.
Yeah, that's right. And Beast.
The others is the correct
Yes,
answer.
Lon.
I also put the others.
And perfect penmanship.
The otters.
God, look at that. Just hold that up.
Also would have accepted others.
Well, look so good. But look at this. Lon, if
That's
he
gonna be a
hits
weird
this
question to ask
he
around the community,
himself will answer
especially
a
us
question.
reactors.
Another perfect
Did we
round.
just
We'll have
get
the
this
time
question?
for the bonus question.
Blow
Uh,
it.
Miss.
Don't blow
Miss. Noonan.
Your last question
Steve Perry.
I'm encouraging it.
is a Patreon question, and this comes to us courtesy of, I love saying this guy's name, Jake Hammer. The Hammer's back.
The hammer. The hammer, Hank Aaron hit 755 home runs.
Maybe one day I'll say your name like I just did. Jake the Hammer. Jake wanted a question in the category of
you punched me in the face, Christian. How dare ye?
Somewhat new, and your question to the field.
How dare he?
What 2018 film do Blake Lively and Henry Golding play husband and wife?
Oh, it's that.
It's
that one film
If they all get it, it'll be tied, but
everybody loves.
He hits it.
I can't remember its title.
4, 3, 2, 1. Beast.
It's one of the best movies of that or any year.
A Simple Favor. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, Perfect Round by Lon. I didn't even realize that.
I wrote A Serious Thing.
A Serious Thing? Well, he got the A. He knew it started with an S, though. Dumb and Dumber. Samsonite.
But Lon has a chance to tie the game here if he hits this question. Lon, you don't have to write this down. This is just for you. Here you go. Here's your bonus question. Lon, name the 2 actors who have played Rooster Cogburn.
2 actors?
That would be Jeff Bridges and John Wayne.
For 1 point.
I knew John Wayne played it. I didn't know another person did. Did him.
What a match this has been so far, and we get into
You'll learn things every day, kids. Remember that.
Mark, how's 2 go?
In round number 2, each team gets a spin at the wheel of doom, fate, and for one lucky team, justice.
Wheel of Death. It's the Wheel of Death, Mark. Wheel of Death. Gotta pray to the wheel. It's all up there been known to be. Oh, the luck's insane. John has a belt he must reclaim. You can actually do the real lyrics now. Chris Clark, came up with some great lyrics there.
There is stealing available in round number 2, so be aware. On the wheel, we have a bevy of Patreon
gotta pray to the
to
wheel.
celebrate Christian, because that wheel
is there to screw. They know
one of our
what I
Schmoedown
say
patrons,
is
and that
true.
slice is Jim Henson. It's a new slice.
Death.
So if we land on
Jim Henson.
we will say that patron's name. Thank you very much.
Kind of Funny versus Funhouse is where that was introduced, simply to make that game more competitive and exciting. I don't want to clap. I don't want to crush my Pepsi.
Portman, I do not believe she has been in a Bond film.
All right, well,
Yet.
And because Critically Acclaimed likes to answer questions, maybe they get to go first, but that is all in the hands of the Harris brothers. You are the favorites, and we're a tied game, so would you like to spin first or defer?
So far, this game has been very fun and entertaining.
We'll spin
Other than the fact that they all hate each other for some reason. Gentlemen's match.
From the husk.
There's a good spin by Lon. I like that spin. Question is, see, Lon made a big mistake last tournament. He was confident in a particular thing, but was trying to appease his brother, and he spun away, and I think that's what happened.
You want them
I mean, that's the thing with the wheel. If this was press your luck. This could be big.
Classics, I bet they're keeping that.
They're going to keep
And they are.
All right, Aqua Classics. All right, so Classics. This is now. Can they put their money where their mouth is here? So here we go.
They talk about all the great films from the 1920s, like The General, great silent film.
Here we go. All right, guys. Classics. 6 questions. What 1940s drama starring Gregory Peck, Dorothy McGuire, John Garfield, and Celeste Holm concerns a journalist posing as a Jewish man to research an expose on anti-Semitism in New York City?
Take it away, Mr. Harris, man.
5.
Can we have
4.
We'll say the gentleman's agreement.
That's correct.
Okay.
They end up getting it right.
All right,
Didn't think that was the way we're going to get to that.
Starring Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, and Grace Kelly, was based on the play The Philadelphia Story.
I will be doing this a lot, this classics. I'd have been better off getting plastics.
5, 4.
Can we get multiple choice?
Yes, you can. A, Riding High. B, The Country Girl. C,
Go Riding
Sway.
High.
D, Going My Way.
We'll say High Society.
For 1 point, that's correct.
Be wrong. Okay.
They know their classics so far, Christian.
All right, question 3. Who played the female lead alongside Bing Crosby and Bob Hope in 1942's The Road to
Kind of
Morocco?
Bing Crosby showing up. Thought he was known for his music.
5,
We'll do multiple choice in this one as well.
A. Dorothy Lamour. B. Rosemary Clooney. C. Ingrid Bergman. D.
I'll go C.
Joan Fontaine.
Rosemary Clooney.
It's incorrect for the steal.
Dorothy Lamour.
Correct for 1 point.
Now it's A. Of course, now it's A.
This is number 4. Okay. How many times does Scarlett O'Hara get married in Gone with the Wind?
By today's standards, too many.
I'm guessing it's not 1, nor 0.
5.
3.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Didn't need multiple choice for that one. They go back up by 4 points.
This is number 5.
Ashley sucks.
Number 5.
Not a big fan.
Here we go. Orson Welles plays which Shakespearean character in 1965's Chimes at Midnight?
Falstaff.
Correct for 2 points.
Who else would he play?
Last question. Last question. Who played Maria Nunes in 1961's West Side Story?
Natalie Wood. Thank you, Robert Picardo. Star Trek edition of The Weakest Link.
5, 4.
We'll go multiple choice.
Is it A, Julie Andrews?
No.
B, Natalie Wood?
Yeah.
C,
Yeah, they knew it.
D, Barbara Streisand.
It's Natalie
Oh.
For 1 point. So 7 points
Yeah,
here.
I bet they're kicking themselves over that one. If JTH knew a classic, you should have known it, Lon and John.
Thank you.
Yeah, 7
You
points.
figure the
Bibiani with... Oh, I thought he was going to do the mannequin. He didn't. He looked like he was going to do it. He faked me out. You got JTH there, Beast.
So I think critically
Growl, growl.
in pretty good position.
They are. And William Bibiani, also the managing editor of the...
Reminder of that match again.
Trivia
Ding!
on that one.
90s.
90s.
90s it is.
All right.
You're gonna go with
90s.
Gonna go with 90s.
They love the 90s.
Of the 1990s.
Where is it? I don't see it. There it is.
You don't need to see it. You just need to hear it.
All right.
Critically acclaimed, your first question in the world of the 1990s. That includes Cinnaburst Gum and Crystal Pepsi.
Ooh.
Your first of 6
And
questions.
Fruit Stripe.
is,
Emo with that.
What comedic actor played
Surge.
sound engineer Gary Dixon in Anaconda?
Dave Chappelle.
5, 4, 3.
Yeah. Owen Wilson.
That's 2 points.
Nice. Beast hits it very...
Anaconda, man, that's like... That is the epitome of the 90s. That is
Once again,
so
sticking with the
90s.
In the film Wayne's World, what song is Wayne denied from playing?
Stairway to Heaven.
Stairway to Heaven.
No Stairway denied, but they get 2 points for it. That's a 3-point
It's like
game.
people only do things because they get paid. That's really sad.
All right, gentlemen. Next up, who plays Amy March, the youngest of the March Girls in 1994's Little Women?
2 different actors play her. Do you want the younger or the older?
Younger,
Look, it's Kirsten Dunst and Samantha Mathis.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Apparently you do. I will not challenge you on that.
But before they ask the Little Women question.
I would quickly like to
Bibbs
get
takes
from
question
thoughts
and go,
before Little Women
take
film.
that.
It was based on the classic novel.
Here we go.
I mean, if one
Take
must
that
watch the
question.
more recent version because one lacks the patience and dedication to look up the old one. Sure.
The Katharine Hepburn one is better.
I prefer the late Chris Farley version on Saturday.
All right.
A fine example.
And we move back into the world of
Greta
the
Gerwig
90s.
will blow 'em
Your
all
next
out of the
question
water.
I'm
is,
looking forward to it.
which 90s film is about 3 of the most popular girls at Reagan High accidentally killing the prom queen when a kidnapping goes horribly wrong?
Jawbreaker.
It is, in fact, Jawbreaker.
Man, they are running roughshod over this.
Heathers.
2 questions left.
They take
totally
the lead.
Totally different from Heathers.
Yeah.
Your penultimate question in round number 2. In the 1993 thriller Falling Down, who plays the wife of Michael Douglas's defense, Beth Trevino?
Oh, who was the one?
Never heard of this film. Like many others.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Barbara Hershey, B, Tuesday Weld, C, Sharon Stone, or D, Rachel Ticotin?
Barbara Hershey.
Give him a point.
Wow. So look at that. So we are now 2
Don't even know who that is.
All right. Your last question in the world of the 90s. And boy, what a 90s question this one is. For 2 points,
Dudical.
what real grunge band were members of Cliff's band in the 1992 Cameron Crowe film Singles?
Oh, Jesus.
Green Day.
Yeah. Okay. Pearl Jam.
They're still alive. Wow. Yeah.
Look at that. What a round by critically acclaimed. Very impressive. They really worked together as a team. Got themselves
Oh boy. Sometimes you just know stuff.
Third round, 4 points. We've seen teams come back from it before, but that's a very solid lead. Mark, how does round 3 work?
It's incredible to see the comeback critically acclaimed had. The Harris brothers, one of them pitching a perfect round once, but now we have an even flow into round number 3. In each team will give us a series of 3 numbers. These numbers can range from 1 to 20. Each number you give us is going to correspond to a different movie trivia category up here at the answer desk. The first question is worth 2 points. Your next one's worth 3 points. Your last one, should we make it that far, is worth 5 points. Now keep in mind, we will tell you the category that you selected at random.
You know the drill.
And at
that
point,
you never follow.
Must decide
Two.
Which is going to answer that
Two.
individually. You
Pick.
may not confer with your teammate.
Two.
For the 3-pointer. The opposite
Please.
teammate will answer that one by themselves. You may only confer with your teammate for the 5-point question.
Somebody's got to see one of these reactions one of these days. They got to know they picked 2. Maybe they just do it in spite of me.
Pick one. 4. 15.
19.
As soon as they said 4-15, I knew no 2 were coming out there.
6.
Take 9.
10.
6, 9, and 10. All right, so the Harris brothers will start first.
No 2.
Number 6. Number 6 will begin for the Harris brothers, and they will have to choose in the category of fantasy sci-fi. Fantasy sci-fi. Who would like to?
Take it?
I'll take this.
The answer is 2. The number you should have taken.
Category of fantasy sci-fi. Who provides the voice of the monster in 2016's A Monster Calls?
One certainly looks like he knows it.
5.
Vin Diesel.
For Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson. All right.
It is a trick. It is a trick.
All right. So here's the next question here for the Harris brothers. The 3-pointer Lon will get here. They were going to have to hit their 3 and their 5 here. So here's the 3 in the category of 9. 9, which is Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie.
Okay.
Here you go, Lon. In which film does Angelina Jolie play Colin Farrell's mother?
That doesn't even sound right.
5.
Is it A Winter's Tale?
For Alexander.
Alexander.
So if
that
they
movie.
do not hit this, critically acclaimed will have their 4th consecutive TKO by win here if they hit it. Here we go. Harris brothers need to hit this. This is category 10. Category 10, war movies.
What are they good for?
Here you go, guys.
Hopefully a right answer.
Confer on this one.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Name 2 of the other soldiers, and need the actors' names here, who get pinned down with Mark Wahlberg in Lone Survivor. Five, 4.
We're going to take
3.
a wild guess and say Wes Bentley and Ben Foster.
And your winner!
The high fives. That's what they should have been doing the whole match.
What a match, Christian. I mean,
It was a TKO, another TKO, their 4th TKO. That's got to be a record, I think.
the Harris brothers leaving it all out there on the field. They got Ben Foster. We would have accepted either Emil Hirsch or Taylor Kitsch. They went with Wes Bentley, not quite
Taylor
enough to force
Kitsch.
the hand of critically acclaimed. And they are
No
back in the
thanks.
winner's circle again. And what a formidable team that they are going into the rest of this season. They are one to keep your eye on.
Oh, absolutely. Well, now they've got a date with destiny as they face off against the
They face
Shire
off with a wolf.
Wolf and Rachel Cushing. TKO, I do not see in their future with that match, but I do see a
Yeah, let's
big
hope not.
title match now When will it
Let's
happen?
have 5
Sometime in
rounds of
February,
goodness.
Sometime in March, but it will happen. Critically Acclaimed versus the Shire Wolves for the belts. Bibiani has the opportunity now to become the 3rd man in history to win both the team belts and the singles championship.
The Critically Acclaimed kids, they move on to continue to spin the black circle. Meanwhile, the Harris brothers will be listening to the song Black on a Yellow Ledbetter. I'm still referencing Pearl Jam songs.
Well, now we're going to talk to Adam
Thanks,
Pfeiffer,
Mark.
standing with both Critically Acclaimed and the Harris brothers.
What's up, Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? Your team lead commissioner, Emma Fife, here with the Harris brothers, Jonathan.
Oh.
You put up a good fight.
It was the
today, I have to
costumes.
say.
I think we answered all the questions that were about, movies that people should be expected to know about. I don't know, The Lone Survivor. I'm not sure who's asking about these recent films. I had expected if we were going to talk about war films, it might be Hell is for Heroes, the classic Don Siegel adventure, but next time perhaps.
No, today was the Bing Crosby Schmoedown.
Yes.
I'm not sure that is something I want to be a part of.
I see. Okay. Well, I guess that Bing Crosby doesn't make your list of noteworthy actors from the past whom people should invest time in
The
seeing
Pie
their films.
is classic, not noteworthy actors from the past.
I see. Point taken.
I would hate to be Bing Crosby right now because I just leveled him.
He is rolling over in his grave, I guess. Yeah. Anyway,
Bing got dinged.
Lon.
Bing.
You had a perfect round 1, though. I mean, you like to say not so nice things about films of the present day, but you clearly know a thing or two about new releases because that was included in there.
I mean, I get by. I have to relate to young students and inspire them, so it is important that I learn about your Rios and what have you.
Yes, and we already discussed the overabundance of Bing Crosby in your round 2 there, but then what happened in round 3?
You know, in round 3, you only get a few questions. You only get a few chances to really strike. And we got a monster calls. And I think Jonathan was expecting if we were going to talk about monsters, it might be from Hammer films or the classic Universal period. But
Frankenstein, Dracula.
Just recent films that we just haven't seen as much, haven't studied with the level of depth that we've studied, say, the classics of the French New Wave.
When you have a cartoon tree in your film and he is not careening through space, I don't know if you can expect anyone to know it.
You did answer a tree-related actor, which I thought was very good.
It was stuck in my head, and I thought there is absolutely no chance that Vin Diesel would voice multiple trees in 2018.
I'd actually like to see
who knows?
Calls. I'd like to see a Monster Calls redubbed with Vin Diesel's voice.
I mean, maybe
Just saying,
Vin Diesel has like
family.
tree specialist on his resume nowadays. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Vin Diesel's his special skills on his resume.
Lon and I are family. This won't break us apart.
Hey, kid, don't be sad about your dead mom.
Well,
It's my impression of Vin Diesel in a monster.
No, that was my impression of Liam Neeson
That's
as a
the
tree.
teacher.
Monster Calls.
Sure. Now, you
Nailed
guys, you're a great team. I love having you in the league. I love seeing you out there, but you've hit some rough spots as of late. How are you feeling about the future of the Harris brothers in the Schmoedown?
I do not know much about film. So, that's always something. That's always something you want to deal with.
Contemporary.
Listen, film knowledge is not necessarily.
That's not necessarily what this is about, and I
That's
know
true.
that going in.
Yeah. I mean, Josh McCouga's made a whole career in the Schmoedown on not really knowing that much about film.
You should start drinking.
Well, maybe I will after this. Anyway, unrelated.
Yeah. But I am going to, regardless, I think there may be a future for the Harris brothers, but regardless, I plan to come in very strong, return to the singles lead, my former glory in the singles lead, and specifically, I wish to challenge Mr. William Artemis Bibiani to a singles one-on-one match following our showdown today.
I think that's a fair challenge.
The gauntlet has been thrown, Mr. Bibiani.
Hey, Whitney, you want to go to that yard house across the street? Maybe we can get some onion rings and a beer or something?
I highly recommend the cheese curds there. They're really quite delicious.
Really? The cheese curds?
Yeah, it's just like fried cheese.
Do they have whey?
Really can't go wrong.
No,
I've never asked about whey, but when later at the Yard House we'll ask about it. But
It's a whey-free establishment.
yes.
First gluten, then whey. They're slowly removing ingredients.
I'd hate to be whey right now because we just nailed it. Bing!
Go away, whey.
we'll be right back with Critically Acclaimed.
That's a JTH joke if I've ever heard it. Go away, Way.
I guess we're just
Gluten,
opening
whey.
up on Critically Acclaimed.
Yellow number 5 will be next.
Song.
Not to be compared
we're
to
pretty
Maroon
happy.
5.
Yeah, I mean, you had a very impressive match, I have to say.
Give
I
their,
also have to
Super
say
Bowl
that. Yeah, I thought
halftime
we did really
performance
good.
a solid D-.
We didn't have to What's 4 knockouts for us? Is that like
4 TKOs?
Is that the number 1? I know the Patriots had a lot, but it's up there, right? That's pretty good.
Whether or not we're setting a record, it's still something to be darn proud of.
Right.
I absolutely agree with that sentiment. I mean, I think that people sometimes forget about you, and that you proved today that you should not be forgotten.
Who could forget this phase?
A lot of people can forget this phase. We disappear as a team for months upon months, and every time we come back, we come roaring back, showing everybody. I'm looking forward to our next match, but with our luck, it'll be in 9 months. So who the hell knows? But it's great. It's really, really cool. I'm glad we were able to come roaring back in this season, start off strong. Who knows what happens next?
Now, William Bibbiani, I have to say, unless there is a William Artemis Bibbiani, or was it Aloysius?
It was Artemis.
Artemis
yeah.
Bibbiani.
The hotel.
You've been issued a challenge from one Professor Lon Harris.
May I borrow the mic for a second? I have a message for Lon Schmoedown Harris. Lon, yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll talk to Christian, see if we can schedule that.
Oh, well,
really
that was a lukewarm yes. But okay, taking it as a yes one way or another. Well, congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Whitney,
Great switcheroo trick him there.
I look forward to seeing you guys go up against the Shire Wolves.
Yeah!
Now back to you, Mark and
might
Christian.
be going down maybe.
All right, so look, as we saw in the interview, Lon and Jonathan both a little upset by the match itself, but Lon saying he's ready to play singles, ready to keep playing teams, as is Jonathan. They're ready to keep going, and they have more matches ahead of them for sure.
And a job well done, not just from a question-answering standpoint, but technically, what a great intro that was, bringing Scattergories to the 7th seal, a beautiful melding of the new and the old world. And you guys can go to triviasd.com right now for all the latest and greatest in the world of the movie Trivia Schmoedown. You get some cool factoids, updates, and you can buy tickets to upcoming live events, and check out the movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon. Select which tier is right for you. That's how you can watch all
which I do. Thank you.
And don't forget, on February 23rd, I announced it at the Spectacular, the first Schmoedown Throwdown. That's right, 2 matches in one live streaming event. On February 23rd, we'll be doing it from here. You guys, if you're at the $10 Patreon tier, you can get it, or you can get it at a one-time fee to watch the Inner Geekdom title match between Mike Kalinowski and the winner of Rachel Cushing and Adam Lavin.
It's going to be a barn burner there for sure, and a lot of great movie trivia Schmoedown action in the meantime. That is Christian George Harloff. I am merely Mark Ellis. Go listen to some grunge, and if that doesn't do it for you, how about you get some Van Halen in you? You see the shirt?
Oh, that's good.
This looks exactly like my Uncle Herman's.
Want a goldfish here. Want a goldfish here.
But this is definitely his grill. I could probably sell it on eBay for a couple of $100.
No,
at least I'm thinking.
No, it wasn't your table. Bibbs, it wasn't your... How did you even get my number? How did you get my number? No, delete it. Delete it. I gotta call you back.
Well.
Mr. Finstock, Mr. Gucci.
Hey, man.
How are you, my friend?
Yeah.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, man.
Look, brother.
What's your deal?
You know what my deal is. I've been wanting you since day one. I tried to recruit you when I was with that idiot on Action, but right now, I want you, me, I want to take over the 2019 Guy and Gucci, baby. I can see the lights. I can see the billboards right now.
No, that rings. Like, it looks like Dirk Diggler in neon.
Yeah, that's right.
But I gotta tell you, I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy. I got 2 guys already. They're gonna beat 2 girls. I just don't need another guy.
Okay. Cute. That was real cute. I like that. That was good. I knew you were gonna do some stupid thing like that. So you know what? I got a little surprise for you too, guy. Gooch, guess what? Hey! I got a little friend here for you.
Let's see. This moron.
Oh, come on now. That's my wig.
This is your JTH trial wig, bitch.
I knew what it was.
Well, okay. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, wait.
You got lighter fluid in there?
You know, no, I don't. Oh, wait.
It proves you burned my mask.
I have lighter fluid.
Ooh.
What? I burned your what?
My fucking mask.
What are you talking about?
You know what?
You know, people have been talking to me about, I don't know what you mean.
No, I know what it is. You burnt my mask. I saw it.
How would I?
I saw it in the Schmoedown Spectacular. Look.
You're not supposed to know about Spectacular.
We can
Like,
figure
you
this
just
out.
broke 16 walls there.
And you should join us. Look, you guys can figure all this
Fourth
out
wall
later.
break
Imagine.
against fourth wall break.
Imagine what the three of us could
That's
do
like
in this league. We could set this
16
whole place on
walls.
fire.
Or tackle everybody.
It's like what
put
Beavis
somebody in
used to say.
traction,
Fire,
and
fire,
you-
fire.
and
Think
you-
about it. We are fire. That's
Who
what the
let you
kids
out of
say.
that? Who let you out of that movie?
The same
yeah.
probably let me into your house.
Hey, you're gonna drop this guy in 2 months.
Join us.
Come on,
Join
man.
the dark side. Join the great side. You're with two has-beens. You're with the 50-year-old guy and the weaker half of Team Action. Come
All we
to
can do
the
is
dark.
all we can do is win.
Right.
We can just be better, right? Come on,
All right.
dude. Maybe you'll get your face back. Hey!
We knew he was gonna do that shit anyway.
Got his wig back.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's set some shit on fire.
Have I told you how much I enjoy that you burn everything to the ground? I love it. This year, we're gonna be tackling people. We're gonna be setting them on fire, my friend. It's gonna be amazing.
That scene brought to you by Kingsford Lighter Fluid. Burn it to the ground.
The first team match of the new league year, and it's a #1 contenders match between the Harris brothers and Critically Acclaimed. We haven't seen Critically Acclaimed play as a team since June of last year when they defeated Schmoedown. And the Harris brothers, we haven't seen them play since their brutal defeat to Who's the Boss when they were KO'd in last year's tournament final. But to start the season, Lon Harris wasn't wasting any time as he scores a perfect first round for the second time in Team League play. This only helped them keep the game tied as Jonathan Harris scored 3 points in the round. Getting into the second round action, the Harris brothers stick with classics and earn a total of 8
Yeah, that was the killer
They had
right
to go
there. I'm
multiple
shocked they
choice
didn't know
3
Natalie
times,
Wood.
And they gave up a 1-point steal on their third question.
Rosemary Clooney.
It's incorrect for the steal.
Dorothy Lamour.
Correct for 1 point.
As for Bibbs and Whitney, they stick with 90s and go a perfect 6 for 6 for 11 points and a 4-point lead heading into the final round. For the Harris brothers, their woes continued as they went 0 for 3 and a final score of 24-20, which means Critically Acclaimed will now face off against the Shire Wolves for the title. Going inside the numbers, Critically Acclaimed put up their second best accurate performance to date. They answered 83%. And looking at the second round play for them, they put up career best by hitting all 6 questions for 11 points. The first time they've ever done that
Didn't
as
think
a
that
team.
board was right.
Now their team accuracy is at 79%, which makes it the 4th best accuracy rate amongst active teams. As for the Harris brothers, this is their second straight loss decided by a knockout. As for Lon Harris, in 5 matches, he has earned 7 or more points in the first round 4 times. And as for Jonathan Harris, he is averaging 4.5 points in the first round. They now sit with a record of 3-2, and since Jonathan Harris replaced JTH, they have an accuracy rate of 67%. If you want to find out other stats about this match and from around the league, check out SD Rundown Stats on Twitter. And don't forget to check out the Schmoedown Rundown every weekend right here on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown channel on YouTube. And also check it out on the Schmoes Know podcast feed. This has been your Schmoedown Breakdown.
Thank you, Frankie Stats Janish. As you can see, new shirt, new day, and I don't mean the wrestling group. So a funny thing happened. I reacted to the original cut of this match that was presented to the $2 plus Patreon people. We found out that there was something in that original cut that was not meant to be there at the time that they had intended to cut out and forgot about. So for the sake of that, I had to cut out some things. Fortunately, I didn't react to it in the actual video. However, I did talk about it in my previous first post-match discussion. So once I found out that that was not intended to be there, had to do some cutting to the reaction and just decided to reshoot my original post-match discussion, and we just won't mention that. So for people like me that got to see the original first cut, I know a dirty little secret, which you all will find out in due time. It will be released it will be revealed at a later date. It's just not meant to be seen now, so we're not going to discuss that. So we won't talk about anything that happened about something that you have not seen. So with that being said, I'm going to talk again about the match itself. The match itself was good. Again, was a little disappointed about some things. Not necessarily the match. Again, I was a little bummed that the gentleman's match that I had been hoping for did not come to pass. I mean, they acted like it after the match was over, but I wanted them to do that in the match. And, you know, kind of just a little nitpick again. I kind of pointed it out in the reaction. The Harris brothers in costumes, you know, cosplaying as people, it doesn't really fit their style. I mean, they're supposed to come out as professors and try to just act like they're better than you. That's kind of the Harris brother way. For them to be cosplaying as, you know, people that look like they're from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, it just looks weird. But unfortunately, as I feared, it looks like there's not really a direction now for the Harris brothers. As I stated, I really want to see them keep playing because they're just so much fun to watch. They're so entertaining. That post-match interview is proof why they should still be around and keep playing. Even though they're not going to be the elite of the elite, you know, you can have a bunch of wild berries. Some can be on different levels of knowledge, but you can have more than one wild berry team. Just entertainment, and they still know their stuff. So it's great. I still want to see the Harris brothers play this year. When that will be, who knows? But as we have now seen, critically acclaimed and the Shire Wolves. Oh boy, Shire Wolves, they got taken to the limit at the Spectacular. I now feel like this is not going to be any different. It's just, as a person myself that has been a champion in these fan leagues, every time you face a challenger in a championship match, you're always going to get their best. So this is not going to be any different. And with Bibiani and Whitney, they've been wanting this title match for over a year. You know, you can see in their eyes how much they want this match. And I hope it goes Clark and Rachel's way. Really hope. Not Clark Wolf. Not Chris Clark. I want you to lose, Chris. Sorry. Still love you. So with that being said, that's going to do it for this edition of JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Like, comment, share, subscribe to all of the Schmoedown content and to mine as well if you so choose. Follow me on Twitter at WWEJTH1. I post all my reactions to that page. Follow the official Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook page. Follow the official Movie Trivia Schmoedown Twitter page at the Schmoedown. And join the official Movie Trivia Schmoedown website at triviasd.com. But until next time, this is JTH. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on Friday for Mark Riley versus Drew McWeeny, a match that they promoted quite often if you saw the reaction. I'll see you then. Until then, thank you for watching. Adieu, adieu.